Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to the next episode of Game of Five Flyers. And today with me is Mr. Rupesh. So before I jump my gun to Rupesh, let me introduce Rupesh. So Rupesh came to us in the month of November 21. He came to us for SAP PP training. He was working in an operations company, an automobile company, and he was having a 2 years of SAP end user. And he got trained with us on SAP PP. He also got trained on SAP Job Hunt Mastery. And after doing a training, he was one of the very quickest. Within 1 month of training, he was giving a lot of interviews. Even initial offers started coming to him in the month of December, January itself. And finally he has accepted an offer in TCS in the month of March, and he has already joined as a SAP consultant in TCS with 6+ lakh of package. So that's a brief success story about Rupesh. So with that introduction, I would welcome Rupesh. Rupesh, welcome to Game of Five Flyers.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Hi, good morning. First of all,
Hi,
good
good
morning,
morning.
all of you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for giving me opportunity to become a part in Sastrageek Solutions and for your guidance. I'm at this place now.
Sure. Thank you for sparing time and joining us here. So, Rupesh, I have just told your story in my words, but it would be great if you can explain your journey, how you started your career, and then when you think that I need to switch to SAP as a consultant, and then what kind of things you have done to become SAP consultant.
Actually, I got I completed my B from Government College of Engineering Jalgaon in 2017, and after that, completing B means graduation. First thing come into mind, what next? So my elder brother told me about that. If you are interested in design, then do CAD CAM tools and go into design field. Then production quality in manufacturing domain, as well as if you want to get a job in government sector, then exam preparation.
Mm.
So and at that time, my elder brother also told me about SAP. So I go to one of the topmost authorized center in Pune. So they gave me an idea about SAP, what things exactly happened in SAP, and is that coding related or non-coding related. They so told me about that. And after that, I decided to go with SAP because I am very much interested in that SAP module. So it's not actually means to go directly in that course because I don't have any means I having only theoretical knowledge but not a practical knowledge. What exactly things happened in a production department, how the material will flows, how the means how to deploy manpower, work center, and that all things I don't know. So firstly, I joined a company which Jessis Break International Jalgaon as a graduate apprentice training, so where I learn more about means how the things happen, means how the work on a make to order strategy, make to stock, what's exactly make to order and make to stock, as well as how the customer will send requirement and how the production will team work on that to completing that requirement, how the material issue and how the material we are supposed to put in the warehouse uh, after that production happened. So I uh, take a lot of experience from production department as well as work on SAP related PP module as an end user. And after that, I decided to complete my SAP certification exam
Mhm.
and switch to career as SAP PP consultant.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good. So I can compare my story also. I started exactly in the same way, doing a mechanical engineer, and then did not get placed anywhere in my campus selections. So I also went to Gurgaon, and I was planning to move to Hyderabad to do the CAD CAM courses. And my parents was asking me to take a 1 or 2 years of break and prepare for the government exams. So I never wanted to be employed with government. I never liked government jobs. So I was thinking for CAD CAM. Somehow my course did not started in Hyderabad. So I joined in a company as a production engineer, and then I got introduced. One of my friend Vikas, he introduced me to SAP. And then one of my senior also helped me to understand. He was working in Accenture, that what SAP consultant does. And from there, I got a job in a company as an end user. And then from there, I switched it to consultant. So a lot of people who are mechanical engineer, listening to this video, we have also put it as success stories for complete freshers, fresh graduates, passed out, did not get anything, and then they started their journey also. It's a little bit difficult for them, but with the basic SAP training, you can first get a job as SAP end user, and then after a couple of years, you can convert it into a SAP consultant.
Right.
So thank you, Rupesh, for sharing your journey. So Rupesh, the next question would be that why you wanted to switch. You was working in operations company as a production engineer. Why you wanted to switch from production to SAP, okay, as SAP consultant, and why you selected SAP PP as a module?
As I told you earlier, which means I'm very impressed about that SAP module. So it's very integration, means everything is linked in SAP with each other, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason I select that SAP PP module, as well as my previous work experience is also in a production. So it's very means it's very informative, as well as it's very useful for me to visualize that things. Means whenever from the business side and from the SAP side, I'm easily able to do that things. How the business things happen, means how the business flow and how the SAP works related to that business. I'm easily understand that things and easily visualize and imagine that thing.
Okay, so the answer is very straightforward with Rupesh, given that he was into the production, he was visualizing the process, and then
Yeah.
doing in SAP and then working as a SAP PP consultant would be the best thing. I asked this question specifically because I'm getting a lot of queries. I do a lot of one-to-ones, and a lot of people are coming to me. They have engineering background from mechanical, electrical, civil, electronics. They are working into the production. Even they are working as a PPC guy. They are working into the production engineer. Those kind of jobs they are doing, and they are asking me some query to me. They are asking to me that they want to learn SAP MM. They don't want to learn SAP PP. And when I asked them that why do you want SAP MM, they said that there are more companies implementing SAP MM, so MM opportunities are more, and it's easy to learn SAP MM. I try to force them. I try to make them understand that the PP is the right module for you,
Yeah.
but somehow they have thinking, that PP is not implemented everywhere, and they will not get a job after doing SAP PP. So you tell me, Rupesh, that you did SAP PP. How difficult it was for you to learn PP, and how long your journey took to get a job in SAP PP? How long it took once you learn SAP with us, and after that applying for the interviews and getting a job, how difficult it was?
Oh, actually, learning SAP PPP is very easy for me because I clearly understand what is the different type of business process, and also I'm very familiar with SAP PP screen, means all the type of transactions.
Okay.
I work on repetitive manufacturing as well as repetitive manufacturing, so it's become very easy for me. But facing an interview is very big, difficult task for me because I am showing end user experience. At that time of interview, they asked me 20 to 30 minutes. After the interview, it goes very well. They ask me PP related stuff, and I am able to answer that question from with the help of Sastrageek training. I am able to answer that question. But at the last 10 to 20 minutes, they ask me about, do you know about implementation project? Do you know about RISE WS? Do you know about different types of report? Do you know about means functional specification? So at the 3 to 4 interview, I'm not able to answer that questions actually, and I'm very depressed at that time. So I work on that, start learning that things, and giving interview based on that.
So which training helped you into the second part? One is the SAP PP technical training, and for the second part, which training helped you to answer those?
Actually, Job Hunt Mastery helps me a lot in that. Job Hunt Mastery gives you a detailed description about your role as a SAP PP consultant or any SAP consultant is gives you means detailed information about how the implementations happen, how the means different types of support project, what are the different types of tools used, such as HANA migration cockpit, LSMW, as well as apart from this, it gives how to build your resume as well as how to face a technical interview. That things also helpful for me with the help of Job Hunt Mastery.
Yeah, one thing is common in all of the success story which I am doing last 4 or 5. One, everybody has spoke about the SAP Job Hunt Mastery support and implementation project exposure.
Yeah.
So that is a training I cooked after doing a lot of one-to-one, after understanding not about the successful people, but the people who are not getting a job. Okay, why the people are not getting jobs? They got trained from many different institute. What is the difference? So I found after having so many one-to-one, I did almost more than 300 one-to-ones I have done, and I found it out that there is a gap which is nobody is filling. That's where basically I prepared, I put my everything into that SAP Job and Mastery and put it a curriculum which any consultant can take to answer the second leg of the questions. So first leg is the PP questions, technical question. Second leg, how the implementation happens, function specification, business blueprint printing, and all these things. And one of the very important, which Rupesh has also mentioned, how to prepare your CV. The
Yeah.
CV is the first wall you need to cross,
Right.
right? A good CV is very much required, and that is the first section I cover in that how to prepare a CV. Rupesh, I disagree on one point which you said. You said that it was difficult into the interviews, but let me tell you that what is difficult which you have difficulty which you have not found. It's more difficult to get an interview call. There are so many one-to-ones I'm doing. People come to me for the suggestion that we got the training for भैया परमिंदर मैंने SAP को भी 4 लाख दे दिया, उसके बाद एक और इंस्टीट्यूट को भी दे दिया पैसा, but मेरे पास इंटरव्यू कॉल्स ही नहीं आ रहे हैं. I'm not getting the interview calls. Okay, so one thing is that you are easily getting interview calls is a big success. Okay, and you are getting this interview calls without showing any SAP consultant experience, only showing that you worked as SAP end user and you got trained on SAP PP. And I think you have given interview in the most of the companies, right? Accenture, TCS, all of these big companies you have been called for interview, right? So that's a big success. So that happens with the PP module. So anyone who has a production planning experience, okay, who worked in the production, I prefer them to select PP as a module. For Rupesh, it was a little bit easy to understand it because he has worked on the screen. But if you will compare with MM and PP, PP is little difficult because of the planning parts, because of the planning algorithms, different kind of planning strategies, little bit difficult, and it is not implemented in all the industry, but it is implemented in many industry, and the people knowing this PP skills are very less. However, people knowing MM are huge. Anyone doing a BCom, MCom, BCA, MCA, BA also, they are opting for MM because they think that they understand the purchasing part. It's easy to understand.
Yeah.
So the crowd is more there. So don't follow the crowd. Follow the niche. PP is niche. So if you have a production experience, go for PP. Our success rate, you will see the success stories. All the people, I need a PP consultants to refer to 3-4 companies, but all of my students are already either already have an offer or in working somewhere, they already got placed. Apart from the last batch, current batch which we are doing, where people are still getting trained. So success rates are quite high for PP. That's what I would say.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
So one question I would ask Rupesh, that what kind of interview questions has been asked? So you explained that the second leg, which you was finding difficult, then you did a SAP Job and Mastery. But for the first part, for SAP technical interviews, what kind of questions has been asked?
Actually, first 20 to 30 minutes, they ask about why you choose SAP PP module, what exactly PP module, what is the business process in PP module, as well as what are the different types of planning strategy. Can you explain me planning strategy 10 and 20, as well as ask me about MRP, whole production execution process, as well as master data. It's a very common question. Yeah, and means I have given 8 interviews and
Interview, that's good.
15 interviews, 15 to 16 interviews. And master data is means what is the master data in SAP? It's a very common question. And after that, they asked me about means, as I told you, about functional specification. First, 8 I given in November to December. I have given 8 interviews, and I got selected in one company. But due to I don't know what is the reason, they don't send me offer letter. I got rejected in 8 different companies actually. And after that, I decided I take a gap from giving an interview, and it completed my job and mastery program. And after that, I given 6 interview, including PwC. I got means I am holding offer from 5 different company in the month of February with the
Five,
help of job
five
and mastery.
companies and all the big companies, PwC, Accenture, TCS. So
L&T also.
you can come to know the difference, right? That everybody, a lot of people trained on PP, they know the PP. So the difference is that the job and mastery, the implementation exposure, the
Actually,
support project exposure.
yeah, job and mastery, you clearly mentioned and very well explained that. Don't go for the interview. First, try to read the job description, and based on that, try to upskill your knowledge. Means I also go for the job search, SAP PP consultant requirement, and go through the job description. At that time, they mentioned QM module knowledge is also prepared. So I start learn QM module. Also, there's a functional specific knowledge is must. So I learn that functional specification, write at WH, and put in my resume. And then after that, build a resume and apply it. And once the resume shortlist, they give a 2 to 3 days gap. Means after 2 to 3 days, they scheduling interview, and between 2 to 3 days, I'm able to means uh, uh, able to learn that things, QM module and other whatever they have mentioned in the roles and responsibilities. So for a fresher, please go through the job description, and based on that, start applying for a job.
Okay, that's very good advice has been given by Rupesh for the freshers. Go through the job description and upskill, upgrade yourself based on the requirement. It's not about that what you know, it's also about what is demand in market.
Yeah.
Demand requires that the with PP, some basic QM knowledge is also required. So you add the QM knowledge and then you add it in your CVs. Other two PP consultant, I think they are your friends only. They also get the job with the same strategy. They learned PP, but finally they got a job in QM because PP QM works hand in hand. So that's good. Any other advice, Rupesh, you would try to give specifically to the end users who are working as a SAP end users and they want to become SAP PP consultant? Any kind of advice you would like to give it to them?
For a SAP end user means uh, actually,
How they can be SAP consultant? What steps they should take?
first try to means don't go for any authorized center. They uh, join simply Sastrageek solution or other institute like Sastrageek solution, and try to upskill your knowledge, because you have a strong experience as in a SAP module. So it will be very useful for you to becoming a SAP PP consultant, and try to show as a core user, or try with the job and mastery program, and try to show them support project experience as well as implementation experience. Not experience, I don't give you a false advice. I mean, don't show that experience. Try to show them knowledge that you are having about implementation project knowledge you are having, support project knowledge you are design deployment, that knowledge you are having. Utilize that knowledge and try to upskill as a SAP PP consultant.
Yeah, that's very good advice from Rupesh. I will just add one more advice. What Rupesh said, that don't leave your jobs. A lot of people I have seen, they want to become a SAP consultant. They leave their operation jobs, whether an end user job or not an end user job. They want to go for SAP authorized training. They take 20-25 days of training. They don't get that break from the job, so they leave the job. Your operation jobs is very important, right? Rupesh, you learned a lot from your operation jobs, right? That's actually helped you to get a job in as a functional consultant. So functional consultant, the real functional consultant is who's having a very good hand on the operations, who has worked in the operation, who has seen the operations, he can visualize the whole process. So that job is very important. Don't take a mistake to leave your job and learn SAP. That's where basically the companies like Sastrageek comes into the picture, where you need not to leave your job. You can spend 2 hours, 3 hours daily, and with your existing job, you can learn. And the charges also is almost 10 times lesser we are charging right now compared to the
Yeah.
authorized institutes. And we believe to give 10 times more value then. So it's basically 100 times more, 10 times less price and 10 times more value. It's 100 times more we try to give it. But from wherever you are learning, even you are learning from YouTube, your own, from Google, don't leave your operation jobs. Do with your operation jobs. That's what I strongly recommend you.
Yeah.
All the people who are listening to it. Thank you, Rupesh. That was a great advice. So, last question, Rupesh. What is your future plans? Where do you want to grow? How do you want to grow ahead from here?
Actually, I started from PP, SAP PP end user, and now I am become a SAP PP consultant. So I want to means learn SAP for all the functional model like SAP QM. I also know. I'm trying to learn SAP MM, and after that PM also. And after that, I want to switch from functional consultant to become a techno-functional consultant. That's my future plan.
Right, right. So that's very good and clear future plan. And with that future plan, after a few years, you would also be able to go with the as a solution architect. So what I would immediately advise you, just joined as a consultant. So what kind of job, what kind of things you are getting it right now, go deeper into it. Okay. Within the PP you are getting it, what kind of things you are getting it, go deeper into it. Try to have a deeper hand into it. Don't create your boundary as a PP consultant. Try to go across, linkage with the QM, linkage with the MM, try to learn all these things, right? Wherever the linkages come. And whenever you need to select your second module, that after PP, whether I should go for QM, PM, or I should go for MM, or I should go for APO. My advice is look that in your current project, the project you are working, apart from PP, which modules you would be able to get exposure to. Okay, if the QM is also there, as a PP consultant, you can also pitch in the QM and you can have a discussion. What are the processes are there in QM? What are the processes adopted? What is master data? What is configuration? The business blueprint document would be there in front of you. So it's easy to grasp that one. If you say that QM is not there, but they have a MM and you are having a strong interlinking with MM, then you can jump for the MM side. So what will happen that you will also learn it, and you will also be able to show the exposure because you have seen in your project. So that's why, based on the project opportunity, you should slowly start learning into it. And after some part of time, you should go ahead with the planning part, the PPDS, IBP, the new modules which is coming into the picture. You should try to get hand on them. Not now. I'm telling you the journey for next 3 to 5 years. Okay,
Yeah.
never stop learning. Okay, in SAP, with every year with S4HANA, they change something. So they are keep on changing. So they are introducing new things. Try to first within PP itself, within PP, after you can do is QM, or you can do the excellence of PP, where the new things, demand driven MRP, MRP live, predictive MRP, all these things are there. So that will become you a special PP consultant, which know all the function and features, and then add on the QM. And then in between, whenever you get time, it's very good to add ABAP into it. So for ABAP, I don't want you to do a full-fledged ABAP course. We have a ABAP for functional consultant, a specific course we have that is ABAP for functional consultant. That you should add, then you would be also be able to understand ki, okay, front end mein is happening this, what is happening in the back end. Many times you
Yeah.
will not be able to write a good FS, or you will not be able to discuss with your technical team. They would be speaking some technical terminologies which you are not able to understand, right? And sometimes they will also make a fool of you. A simple job, they will say it will take 2 weeks of time. Right? So that things you would be able to understand. You will be having a very deeper and rich uh, discussion with them, and you yourself would be able to go debug, and if some functional specification, technical specification, they have written the code, you would be able to go into the code and you would be able to read it and understand it. So to do that training, there's no coding skills required. We have drafted, designed it like that, that any functional consultant would be able to also learn ABAP, not the full ABAP, but the key part which a functional consultant must know, that we have included in ABAP for functional consultant. So whenever you get a time, try to go for ABAP for functional consultant, PP excellence, and in parallel learn QM. That is your target for next 1.5 year. Whether you're working in TCS or you go anywhere else from the TCS, you will get to certain heights with that kind of learnings.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
So, okay, Rupesh, that was a little bit piece of advice from my side. And with that explanation, we will be ending our interview here. So thank you, Rupesh, for coming. Thank you for giving time. Thank you for giving very valuable suggestion. I hope the people who are listening to this interview, it would be very helpful for them to know that how Rupesh has converted his journey, what kind of things he has done, and you can also do it. So thank you everyone for watching this episode. Thank you, Rupesh. We will be coming back with the next episode very soon. Stay tuned.